Welcome to the Beijing Winter Olympic Games. I'm here in the Yanqing village and I'm going to take you on a thorough tour of this Olympic village. This should be a little bit familiar to the viewers. This will be similar to the Tokyo video. We're going to go pretty in depth and do a fairly thorough job of seeing all the ins and outs of this Olympic village. It is different from the summer village in a number of respects, but there's certainly a lot of things that feel quite familiar as well too. So let's start here in the living quarters inside. This is my bedroom. It's a single. Most athletes are in a double room, but I have the pick of the litter at the moment, so I've got a single room to myself. It's actually really quite spacious. This is the bed area, and this is one of the most popular parts for the athletes. So as many people would remember, in Tokyo we had the cardboard beds, and these are quite the opposite. These are much more like hospital beds. They're actually very high tech, and they come with a very cool feature. They are movable, and they come with a very cool feature. You can adjust the beds. So with a touch of a button, you can change it so that it moves into, say, reading mode, as this icon indicates. And so then the front will actually, so then the top will rise and you'll be in a much more comfortable position for reading. So unlike the Tokyo Olympic Village where you had one central location for all the athletes, here in China you have three separate zones. You have the Beijing zone with all the events that take place there. Then you have the Yanqing zone, which is where we are right now, and you have the alpine skiing events and the sliding events that take place here. And then you have the Zhangjiakou zone, which is the farthest north and the most remote spot, and then you have all those events taking place there. So it's three different villages, three different zones, and we're gonna take you through the Yanqing zone today. Although after my race, I will have the ability to travel to Beijing, as well as to what feels like it's close to Inner Mongolia, according to some of my friends over there, and we'll get to check out those villages as well. But let's start here. Here are the extra masks that I've brought. They are very serious about COVID here and keeping it out of the village as much as possible. There have been a few cases, including some right here in my cluster. So we're being very careful and wearing masks at all time outside of the dormitories. Here's my pin collection. I don't have many yet because I don't have any to trade, but this should grow over time. Oh, and I was given 50 masks as well. Oh, that's right. So I am an Athletes Commission candidate. So I get this snazzy shirt as well. It says IOC Athlete Commission candidate, and I get to campaign around the village and try to get the athletes to vote for me. The purpose of that is that I could be a representative for the athletes at the IOC level and give them a voice at the top level of our sport. We did not have an apparel sponsor until the very last minute. It was such a scramble. But Colombia came through for us big time, and they were able to embroider the American Samoa logo here. And what's really cool, they were also able to print this Polynesian pattern. This was actually designed specifically for me, for my competitions, by a traditional Samoan tattoo artist. And I used this print actually in my race at the Tokyo Olympics, and it's on my speed suit for my winter skeleton racing. So it was really nice of them to actually put this on our gear for the opening ceremonies and around the village. Moving on. So this is the secondary room. I'm really lucky in that I have this secondary room at the moment. I've set it up as an office as well as a sled tech room on this side. So going through my skeleton equipment, this is my sled. I still have to bolt the saddle on, but we have all the different names of the people who contributed to my GoFundMe campaign. Thank you to everyone there. You will be with me on the ride for my Olympic race. And of course, a big thanks to Olympic Solidarity. They're my main sponsor. I might still have to remove this sticker for the race. I have to get confirmation on that. Anyway, this is my sled, still in pieces. This is my runner collection. The runners are what go inside the sled. I have different cuts for different ice conditions and different feel on the ice. So you can set up the sled. It's highly tunable. It's actually a piece of equipment that has a lot of different tuning capabilities, so you can change how it articulates in the corners, you can change the stiffness of it. Really a fancy bit of equipment, even though it is on the older side of things. The different runners I'll test out over the training days, see which ones suit these ice conditions the best, and then I'll make a decision for race days to see what is the fastest. If anyone hasn't seen skeleton spikes before, these are the spikes that we use on the ice. So they have hundreds of tiny little metal pins on the bottom. That's what gives us the grip as we run on the ice. And then it has a hard plastic toe cap, which is covered by some tape because occasionally we need to steer by dragging our toes on the ice, and that will instigate a much stronger steer for us. So you can see that's what the abrasions are on the toe piece. Here's my equipment bag. So this is my saddle. This needs to get bolted onto my sled still. Some speed suits, more sliding gear. That's my helmet. We've got my workout stuff. Got a foam roller. This is the cool bag that they give to all the athletes. Beijing backpack. And there's my flag of flags, just like I had at the summer games. Here's the little workstation I have set up. We've got the calendar with the sliding schedule, all the things that I have to do. And oh, we've got my book as well. So this is Alpha Status, a nonfiction novel, something I've been working on for the last 4 years. And I brought a bunch of them to the final World Cup race in St. Moritz, Switzerland, and I sold out completely. And so all my friends who couldn't get a copy, I've got you covered. So you'll get your signed copies here at the Beijing Olympic Games. And viewers, please feel free to pick one up yourself too. Here you can see a look out into the courtyard. So I'm on the top level of my building in this cluster. You can see Team Netherlands. They're down on the 3rd and the 2nd floor, and actually goes down 1 floor underground as well. But you've got a nice little courtyard out there. We also share this building with Romania, Argentina, they're on the top level, and Norway. All right, so here's the elevator for the building, residential floor, level 4. Check, look how new this is. That's very satisfying. And the other one's on here too. Brand new building. Here's the lobby of the building. Hello. We have epidemic prevention equipment desk. So we've got some hand sanitizer, we've got the alcohol wipes, more hand sanitizer, and a collection of king-size condoms for free distribution. And here we go, walking through the village. So you've got all the teams that are in this cluster. Netherlands, Norway, Chile, Czech team, Romanian team. We've got a map of the Yanqing Olympic Village. It's actually quite an intense village. It's pretty widespread. It's a bit of a labyrinth, and it can be really easy to get lost. So it's a good thing that they have these maps everywhere. But we're over here, and we're gonna wander around towards the main area and see what we can see. So unfortunately, there have been a number of COVID cases reported here. Mostly it's the athletes or staff members who are coming into the Olympic Village. They get screened at the airport and they test positive there. From what I'm told, the CT count is much more sensitive and the entry requirements are much stricter for China. And so some people who may have tested negative in their country get popped with a positive test on arrival here. And even then, there have been a couple of athletes, I'm told 2 in my cluster, who have tested positive as well, and their competition status is still up in the air. This is at the dining hall. We have a ski and a snowboard rack, and as well as you have a bag check. Got a big screen TV here, bunch of information. Here you've got the dining hall volume, so it shows the number of people inside and the occupancy ratio, so you can know that you can avoid it if it is too crowded. The access control point. Hello. Yes. So this is where they check your card as well. There's the card. Thank you. Thank you. I'll just take a quick video here. So you have a hand sanitizing station, and then you have to get some gloves, and then we'll check out the dining hall in a moment though. First, we're gonna see some other stuff. This here is the main quad in the center of the Yanqing Olympic Village. We have a number of cool features here. So we have what's essentially the Great Wall of China replicated out of ice. So this is actually pure ice with some snow on top. It's a beautiful construction. You've got one of the towers here to the wall, and it's meant to separate the athletes on this side with the media on the other side. It's a form of a mix zone. So instead of keeping out the Mongol hordes, it keeps out the COVID from any of the media reporters. Oh, I know these people. So this here is the truce mural. So this is something that the athletes can sign as part of the Olympic spirit. It's in the shape of the Olympic flame, although some will also say you can see the shape of a dragon in it as well too.
Yeah, it's basically a Chinese traditional lantern.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
a Chinese traditional lantern as well. So many different interpretations of the art here.
Well, we do have a text interpretation.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah, you can perhaps take a look.
Yes, inspired by the traditional Chinese lantern
Yes.
and a symbol of family unity. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, I will give it a sign right next to my friends here. So these are other skeleton racers, Anna Fernstettova and Nick Timmings from Czech Republic and Australia respectively.
Yeah.
All right, I'll join them on this side.
Nice.
There we go. Here as well in the courtyard, we have the Olympic goddess holding up a golden replication of the Olympic rings. Beautiful statue here, completed on January 17th, 2020. Gorgeous looking statue, although poor woman must be freezing out here, standing out in the cold. Here we have one of the two gyms in the Yanqing village. This is the freeway gym. You've got some stretching stations here. You've got benches over there, and then in the back you've got a row of platforms and other free weights. So this is fitness room B. This is mostly the machine room and the cardio room, a bunch of bikes, treadmills, and other accessories here. Here we have the gaming room, set up for all sorts of video entertainment, augmented reality entertainment, bunch of incredible stuff here. So this right here is a ski simulator. So you can actually hop on those skis and you can simulate a skiing experience where it takes you back and forth. Something I do want to try after my race is over. Then you've got these augmented reality experiences. This one is a deep sea submarine simulator. And this one here is a space simulator. So you actually get to pretend you're a taikonaut getting launched into space, and then you're on a rocket and floating in midair, because these chairs actually move. So they articulate and give you that light feeling of weightlessness on it. Here you can see all of the flags of the different countries that are represented here at the Winter Olympics. You've got the Olympic Village sign in the background there. And then you've got the gondola system. So this goes up to the top of the mountain, way up there. As an athlete, you're actually allowed to get a free ride up there, regardless of what your sport is. And then you can watch some of the different alpine skiing events. And then on the far side, visible from here in the village and through various rooms, you have the sliding track. That's the Yanqing National Sliding Center. So that's the track that I will be sliding down starting tomorrow. This is the main entry hall to the Olympic Village. You've got the Chinese red lanterns. They just celebrated Chinese New Year yesterday, and they've got some very cool things on the inside as well. Hello, Happy New Year. Here. Sure.
Traditional medicine section?
Yes, let's do that. So let's take a tour here.
Yeah, let's go. Turn left.
Okay. Oh, let's check this out first while we're here. So here we've got a display for Beijing 2022, and you get to see the different medals. So here you have the designs for an Olympic gold medal, and you have so you have both the 2008 medal and then you have the 2022 medal right there. And then you get the history behind it, how it was inspired, and how they actually came up with the design. And some other Olympic memorabilia. You have the safety lantern design, which is inspired by ancient Chinese culture. You've got the cauldron, and as well the Olympic torch for the torch relay. And then on this side, you've got a beautiful replica of the Great Wall of China. Beijing 2022, the Great Wall, and a bullet train in the background. One thing about the Yanqing village is that it's really easy to get lost in here. I went in circles this morning with my NOC assistant trying to find the laundry room, and it took us about 15 minutes just to locate it. Really not super intuitive. Here we have the mascots for the Beijing Olympics. This year is Bin Dun Dun, and the round thing around the face is supposed to be a helmet signifying the winter sports, but as some people have pointed out, it looks like he's wearing a COVID outfit. See,
Yeah.
so here we have a separate room set up for Kung Fu,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
And this is the 5 mimical animals.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see bird and
Okay.
apes.
A bird,
And bear.
ape,
Bear.
bear.
Yeah, and a deer and a tiger.
Okay.
And the exercise is just like that animal.
I see.
Yeah.
So here in the Kung Fu room,
Yeah,
we
it's
have,
tiger.
I see, people, and they're doing different movements that correspond to different animals and the way that they move. So that one's the tiger.
Yeah, that's a tiger.
This one's the bear.
Yeah, and this
I
bird.
see. And then on this side, we have the bird.
Yeah. And apes.
And here we have the apes.
And
Excellent. Oh, one more.
Yeah.
And we
Five
have
mimic animals.
the deer. There we go. Maybe that's a sport I can pick up after skeleton. One of the cute translations here on the bike. If you feel dangerous during exercise, you must stop using immediately. That's cute. Here inside the Olympic village of Yanqing, we actually have an historic site. This is an ancient village from the Qing dynasty. Not that ancient, it's about 100 years old, but you can see all the stones and the walls from when the villagers used to live here before this Olympic village was made.
Great.
Here on the west side of the village, we have all the flags of all the different countries and teams competing. And below that, we have the transportation centers. This is where we get the buses that will take us up to the track for our practice and races. Here we have the Bank of China, so we can do some money transfers and withdrawals. There's also a post office and a hair salon in other spots around here in the village. So here we have the ambulances. They are next to the polyclinic, which is around the corner on the right. The ambulances have been mostly transporting COVID patients to and from the isolation room, so you'll see them picking up and dropping off different athletes. One funny thing you'll notice though is that these are not Toyota branded vehicles. They're actually Mercedes-Benz, but because those aren't the official Olympic sponsors, they have to be covered up. Here we have a gorgeous plaza. So this is in front of the main dining hall. This is the front side of it, and the athletes will eat up top there, and then the volunteers will eat on the lower section over there. This here is the Super Resident Center, basically the central hub for all the different clusters. You get 24-hour service. Any issues that you have, you can come report them in here. Inside the super resident center, we have the drying room, and this is for all the different ski boots. So if you want to dry your boots out after your days on the slopes, so if you want to dry your boots out after a day on the slopes, you can slot them in here, and these will force air into them so that they can dry your boots for your next practice. So that they can dry your boots for the next practice session. Also in the Super Residence Center, we have the laundry center. So unlike in Tokyo, where you had all your laundry done for you, this is self-service laundry, where you have all the washers on the bottom, and then you have the dryers on the top. But there's an assistant to help should you need. Hello. And then you just come in and grab a free one and do your laundry. And behind me we have the iconic Olympic rings. This is a really popular tourist spot. Oh, I should start again. Behind me we have the iconic Olympic rings. This is one of the most popular photographic spots. You'll see the teams and the athletes all gathering there, posing, climbing on the rings. I'll save that until after my competition is done. But this is where I'll wrap up the tour of the Yanqing Olympic Village. Hopefully after my races I'll be able to see the other villages, so please stay tuned for those coming in the future. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.
Wow, you're a vlogger.